you, sir. Don't think it goes unnoticed, mate. Only one of you did the standing ovation. Thank you, sir. Thank you. No. First of all, this won't get on the show, but well done, Channel 7, eh? Channel 7, the only network that would fucking have me on. There was something, Channel 7 go like this, oh, just give him a game show. And they're like, have you Googled his material? Nah, just... I think he says a lot. Yeah, give him a game show. And then the game show did well, and they're like this, do you want to do a stand-up show? And I'm like, well, there'll be a lot of swearing. And they were like, we're Channel 7, we don't care. We'll put it on at 9:30. Nowhere else in the world would fucking put this level of swearing on network TV except for Australia. God bless you. One of my favourite things about Australia, right, is that we're the only nation in the world that have a practical joke that we've all agreed on. And the entire nation has done this. And if you tell other people, if you tell kids or foreigners about this, you're a fucking rat fuck. And what's that practical joke? Drop bears, too fucking right it is. That's why I never want this show to air overseas. Just in here. We can't let the others know. I fucking love the drop bears. I've done it to me children. Every girl I've ever brought back to Australia, I've fucking done the drop bears. It's brilliant. My wife, I got married during COVID to a British woman. Moans a lot. Anyway, so you know how they are. Anyway, so I got married to a British woman, right? And so during COVID, I got her pregnant because what else was there to do? There was nothing to do. You could only watch so many TV shows before you got someone fucking pregnant. Anyway, see, that's the worst thing about being heterosexual, right? Worst thing about being heterosexual is that we have kids. Now, I know we're in Melbourne, so there's a lot of you like this. I think you'll find that gay people can have kids as well. Not by accident! But I love them. I love them. Anyway, so my wife, pregnant, we came out to Australia to film a documentary that never saw the light of day. We're out here and my wife's pregnant and it's the first day in Australia and we have to do something out in the bush, right? And they're filming us and we just met the crew and we're walking along and we're walking through the bush and you start subtle with it, don't you? Right? You don't go in too hard. You don't get to the edge of the bush and go, bloody drop bears in there. You got to give it a bit of this. Just a subtle... Until eventually she's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, it's nothing. Nah, we're good. Nah, we are. We're good. We're good. What is it? And I go, okay, well, I don't want to upset you. Now, the guy's filming us over there. I go, I don't want to upset you, but there's these animals called drop bears, and they're like koala-like animals that are in the trees, and when they see you, they drop down and they grab you on the face and they start clawing your face off. But they're very rare, right? So I wouldn't worry about it. And then the cameraman dropped his camera like this. My cousin died from one. And then right there, I didn't even know that guy's name. Me and him now, we're fucking mates for life, right? We're mates for life. We're in, because that's your job as an Australian, is to join in. When you hear others mention the drop bears, you confirm. Right, so now my wife, who's pregnant, is terrified all day. Great joke, right? She's walking around. Later on in the day, she's getting her makeup done before we do the next bit of the documentary. And a woman from the crew, British girl, right? You know the type, straight from fruit picking, right? Now she's putting the makeup on my wife and she goes, don't let those boys upset you. Don't let those boys upset you. I've only ever seen 2 of them. And I went, oh, good for you. Because she had the drop bear joke played on her. And your reward is then you become part of the drop bear joke and you pass it on to others. So now my wife's really terrified. I thought that's the fucking end of it, right? And then out of nowhere, my wife's in the back of the chair. I've only ever seen 2. Then a bloke who had nothing to do with production, who was just walking through the bush. You know the type of bloke, old fella. He's got a plastic bag and it just has an apple in it. And he walked out and he went, no, they're bad this season. So that really did happen. And then at the end, my wife comes back to LA. We're in LA. She's talking to her friend. She's, pregnant. She's talking to her agent. My wife's an actress. She's talking to her agent on the phone. And she's like this, oh, yes, we had a lovely trip to Australia. It was wonderful. It was a shame it got shut down. But I tell you what, I was scared of those drop bears. And then she starts telling this person, she's like, they're bears with claws that fall from trees and climb. And I'm like, oh no, it's gone too far. Her agent's gonna think that she's mentally challenged. And my wife got off the phone and I went, hey, the drop bear thing, it's not true. What? None of it's true. She goes, but the cameraman and the man with the bag and the apple, they were just fine Australians. So, but here's the deal. Now you are part of it. Now you can tell, when that child comes out of you, in a few short years together, we can tell him or her about the drop bears. And my wife said, I will never tell our child about drop bears. And I went, then you'll never be Australian. My father is in the audience. My dad and my Uncle Brian, they look like the 2 old from the Muppet Show, don't they? Now, if you've ever enjoyed my comedy over the years, if you found me funny, if you've liked my work, that man, you have to thank that man, because all I've done my whole life is impersonate him. He's the funniest man on earth. But also, if you have found me irritating, opinionated, and a bit of an arsehole at times, you can thank him. You can thank him. There's also, it all comes from him.
He is what he is. I brought him up that way, I suppose, and I'm very proud of him. Yeah.
Coming up, Mel Buttle, Nikki Osborne, Glenn Wool, and Arj Barker.
My Aussie friends always try to convince me, Arjie, mate, the snakes are just as afraid of you as you are of them. I'm like, really? Are you telling me the snakes are sitting up all night fucking Googling me?
This is Jefferies and Friends. This is Jefferies and Friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next comedian is an American comic who's an Australian household name. You all know him. Please go crazy for Mr. Arj Barker.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Very kind. First, Okay. Well, I actually wanted to say that if there are any babies here, welcome. Stay as long as you'd like, and by all means, drink up. Thank you. Yeah, I'm delighted to be in front of a positive group of people. I'm feeling a little emotional because it's actually a really important day in my family. It's my beloved great-great-grandfather's birthday today. And thank you. He did pass a while back, but it's always a reflective day. He would have been 247 today. So. Kind of hard not to think, what if things had gone differently, I guess. I mean, to be fair, we weren't super close. He died when I was only -84, so. I am still trying to hang on to my New Year's promises I made to myself. I did the most classic one. I said, I'm gonna exercise more. And I don't mind when I'm home, go out in the garage, hang out with the dogs, but I'm on the road a lot. And then I gotta go to the gym. And I hate going to the gym. Hate it! Because I just sweat so much at the gym. I really do. Because I don't have a membership. And I'm not supposed to be there. It's super stressful. And it's also really uncomfortable working out in a janitor's uniform. But most health experts say that, if you eat the right foods, like you get everything you need from your diet, eat a good variety of healthy food, you get everything you need. But just in case, I do still take a once-a-day multi-painkiller because it has everything I need. It has Nurofen for my neck pain, it has some Panadol for the pain in my lower back, and it has just a touch of morphine for the pain in my childhood. I did go to a natural healer recently, and the first thing he said, we got to get you off gluten. And I said, well, I'm not celiac, I don't have that condition. He said, it's not about that, it's about how it's gonna make you feel, Arj. I said, all right, well, I'm paying this guy money, I might as well give it a shot. And I just checked backstage, it's hard to believe I'm nearly 6 weeks gluten-free, and I just wanna say this, if anybody here tonight is even considering quitting eating gluten for any reason at all, I wanna tell you this, it's actually not that bad. It isn't. In fact, the only thing that I really miss is happiness. But other than that, I don't really notice. Do you know what gluten is? It's so simple. Technically, gluten is the protein which makes food edible. And gluten is primarily found in fucking everything. Of course, that's not entirely true, and since I have become a bit of an expert, I don't mind enlightening you. The main foods which do not contain gluten are apples. So it's not that bad. There's about 35 species of apple. So this healer, he's also the king of natural supplements. And so now he has me taking turmeric. Have you heard of turmeric? Turmeric and magnesium 4 times a day, which is a lot. But he said I should do that because he doesn't think that I'm getting enough diarrhea. And I gotta tell you, it's really doing the trick. This is a lovely audience. Unfortunately, we don't have much time left. And I'm not referring to the performance, I mean like read the news. Put 2 and 2 together. I was reading an article about climate change the other day, and it was quite a good article, but more than once they referred to it as a climate predicament. And I was like, nah, guys, I think maybe 15, 20 years ago, sure, climate predicament, but I think we're past that now. I think we're pretty much in a straight up dicament by this point. It's climate dicament, folks. And I also want to go on the record and say that I think dicament is the worst flavor of chewing gum. I care about the environment. I love the environment. It's one of my favorite places. Like when the weekend comes, where'd Arj go? Well, have you looked in the environment? Because I love nature. I love hiking. I don't hike much in Australia because I'm aware of what lives out there. So I'm a little nervous. And my Aussie friends always try to convince me. They say, Arjie, mate, the snakes are just as afraid of you as you are of them. I'm like, really? Are you telling me the snakes are sitting up all night fucking Googling me? Is Arj Barker deadly? And he kills us? How did we know the good Arj Barkers from the bad Arj Barkers? If Arj Barker stepped on us, how long does we have to get to the hospital, said? Does we have 20 minutes or 30 minutes? Any other questions, fellas? Well, that's actually a really good one. Why does we have arms? How does we typings if we are snakes? Well, I think you're a lizard who actually infiltrated this joke. And you're taking dictation from the snakes. That's what I think's going on. I am a big animal lover, but my favorite animals are my dogs. I am a first-time dog owner, and I'm goo-goo gaga over those little girls. I love my dogs like they're like a crowbar. They rip my heart wide open. And the love that's coming out, it's not dog love or species specific, it's just love. It just means I would do anything for them, anything. I would run into a burning building for my dogs, even if they weren't in there. I say, fuck it, I'm going in. Tell them I did it for them. And people say, well, you're an idiot, Arj, because if you drop dead in your kitchen, your dogs would eat you. Well, I sure hope so, because we don't waste food in my house. And hopefully my spirit will be floating over them like, good girls. Finish your dad. But the dog owners here, are you dog owners here? Yeah, you know this is true. This is true, right? If you're not in charge, they'll take over the house. And as much as I love my dogs, they know I'm in charge. For instance, bedtime, guess what? They know they're not sleeping on my bed, they're sleeping on their bed. And that's it. No more conversation. Admittedly, their bed is on my bed. But they know that they cannot leave their bed for any reason during the night unless A, I'm asleep, or they want to. There's not going to be any more discussion on that, I'll tell you that right now. You know, and if any of you ever were a guest in my home, you would know that I was in charge. Because if you go to someone's house and they're not in charge of their dog, the second you walk through that door, the dog sees you as a target. And they know that the very split second food comes out, that dog's gonna be sitting 1 inch from you, sitting there on the floor, giving you the saddest eyes in the history of sadness. Just like, I'm so sad right now. But maybe if I could just have some of your foods, then I guess I wouldn't be as sad anymore. That'd probably help me out a whole lot, actually. Because we don't do that shit in my house. In my house, if you want something, you bark loud and you bark aggressively. And you snarl if need be, or you can get your ass off the kitchen table. Because I want to be real clear about one thing. Dad didn't build special table stairs for this nonsense. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Arj Barker, ladies and gentlemen.
After the break, Glenn Wool, Nikki Osborne, and Mel Buttle.
I kind of identify as my kid's dad. I know that's weird to say. And don't get this mixed up. I'm not saying, I think I'm male or I'm confused about my gender. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't help with the baby that much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next comedian comes from rural Queensland. She's been on every TV show you can imagine on other channels that I can't mention right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mel Buttle.
Hello, g'day. Hi, thank you. Thanks, Melbourne. Oh, this is fun. This is really fun. I've got an 18-month-old little boy at home, and he's good. He's a good boy. He's pretty cool. You got to say that. Got to keep the chatter positive. You can't say what you really think, or people call the government. What I really think is my hand fits right around his neck. Anyway, but I didn't carry the baby. I'll be honest with you. Really nice one is I didn't carry the baby in my body because I'm in showbiz. Didn't have to. I just don't think I could do this job being pregnant. I don't think I could do it. Like, I don't think you would hear a word that I say, because I don't hear anything pregnant women say, like with their big bellies and stuff, because the voice in my head is so loud, just going, yuck. You let him, didn't you, you fucking grub? What a disgusting woman. But no, my missus did it. She carried the baby. Why is that? Because I had an option, that's why. Nah, it's because she's not that good at rock, paper, scissors, if I'm honest. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. This is weird to say. This is a bit weird to say. I'm going to tell you this, right? I kind of identify as my kid's dad. I know that's weird to say. And don't get this mixed up. I'm not saying, I think I'm male or I'm confused about my gender. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't help with the baby that much. There's a few women in the audience say, did you hear that, Daryl? That's funny. Said she didn't help. I might mention it twice when we're in the car on the way home. My favourite bit of the show. I think the role of dads has changed the most over the years, right? Because I saw a dad recently. I saw a Melbourne dad getting around. This is what he had going on. He had a baby strapped to his chest, right? And he's walking, he's oodle, doodle, poodle, noodle. If you wanted a pet, you should have got a dog, idiot. Anyway, he's walking his bath mat, cross shower cap thing. And in addition, he's also pulling one of these carts behind him that they've all got these days. And in the cart, there's 2 more kids. Sir, you're a father of 3. It is time to purchase a motor vehicle, okay? For Finch and Scout and fucking Peach or whatever it is. Anyway, I think dads have had a very, very different expansion to their role, right? Because when I was growing up in the 80s, dads weren't like that. Dads didn't do that. No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I didn't see much of my dad at all. Now, my parents were married. We all lived in the same house. But Dad's busy. Dad's at wine club. Dad's in the shed. Dad's under the house. Dad's just wherever you are not. So you saw your dad in the 80s when you saw a Viennetta. That was it. Remember that? Mum would make a special dinner. Be spaghetti bolognese with garlic bread and a salad. Whoa, right? Then a Viennetta with a birthday cake candle would come out in it. And Dad would go, uh-oh, it's someone's birthday. He didn't know who, not his job, right? Do you remember the slice of Viennetta that you would get as well, that your mum would give you? Your mum would be like, with a scalpel, shaving off the tiniest, thinnest little fucking slither of Viennetta. And then the bit Dad would get would be like, oh, chunk the size of a Bible. And your mum would go, take that over to your father. What do I want to be when I grow up? A dad, please. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, not a lot of your dad growing up, but Saturday mornings, some very special Saturday mornings, my dad would come into my room and he'd say to me the most beautiful sentence a father can say to his child, which is this: do you want to come to the dump with me? Yes, I do. Oh my God, I want nothing more than to go to the dump with you. Wow. You'd rub it into your mum a bit. Remember, you'd be like, well, Dad and I go to the dump, just us, see you later. Just Dad and I, off to the dump. Not you, you're not invited. Mum would be like, have fun, you two, pouring her first glass of wine for the day at 10 a.m. Oh. I'm from Queensland, so that's the gesture for pouring a glass of wine. It's a cask, just... sort of translate cross-culture there. Oh. Did anyone else have a nightie mum? A mum that was just in a nightie your entire childhood? Like, she would pick you up from school at 3 o'clock. You'd be home at 3:10, 3:15, bang, nightie on. Just a really clear visual symbol that you're not going anywhere and don't ask. Saturday morning, she'd wake up, take off her sleep nightie, put her day nightie on, she's ready to go. Far away in my brain, right, next to going to the dump with Dad, is going to a landscape supply store as well. Right, this is the precursor to Bunnings. And let me say this, like, you would just leave for the day and go out with your dad with what I have on me right now, absolutely nothing. You would just get in the car and go. You hearing me, under 35s? No drink bottle, nothing. No bento-style lunchbox. Nothing. No rashie, no sunscreen, no digital device, no iPad, no backpack, no self-esteem, nothing. So the landscape supply store was one of the most boring places you could go with your dad, and you would get there and there's only one highlight, which was you would get to hear your dad's man voice. Because all Aussie men have a voice that they put on to impress other men, right? You've all got one. Like, so you would just, like, you'd hear your dad's normal voice. He'd say stuff like, righto, get in the car, come on. Where's your shoes? How do you lose your shoes between the front door and the fucking car? Jesus Christ, right? But then at the landscape supply store, he'd meet the bloke serving him, right, going to sell him some topsoil or something. And your dad would just go, yeah, g'day, mate, how you going? You're a good bloke, aren't you? Look at you, bloody build like shit now. What are you, 6'9", 6'10", 6'12"? Ha, look at you, Jay, want to come to my house and spread some fucking topsoil? Are we doing characters? What the fuck? Can I be Rose from the Golden Girls, please? It was boring, though. The landscape supply store was so fucking boring. And this is what you did in the 80s when you were bored. You did this. That's it. That's all you did, was that. That's all there was to do, bit of this. And even that'd be too much for your dad. He'd be like, do that somewhere else, fuck off. Go and do that near that man with the orange-tinted glasses. He likes you, go on. Been looking at you for hours. Bring me back one of his Menties. So you just do it smaller. Just do Then out of the corner of your eye, you would spot a drink machine, right? A soft drink machine, the old school ones filled with cans. And you would think, if I play my cards right, I'm going to get one of those, right? And you would begin your campaign. Because you weren't allowed to make a direct request. It's the 80s, you can't just ask for a soft drink. You know that actually only came in, direct requests, in 1999. That's when it was legal for you to ask your parent for something, right? So you do this, you'd be doing your board stuff, and you just start your campaign by saying, feeling thirsty. Feeling like I might need a drink in a minute. Feeling like it's time to have something interesting to drink. And your dad would hear you and acknowledge you, right? But he wouldn't turn his back to give you any eye contact. He'd say this, he'd go, there's water in the car. Do you remember the water in the car? 2-litre home brand vinegar bottle, filled up with water, wrapped up in a towel with 2 rubber bands around it, kept in the boot. And if you ever said, why is it wrapped up in a towel, Dad? So it doesn't thud around and drive me fucking mental every time I go around a fucking corner, that's why. Fucking hell. I'd be like, oh, that's for the radiator, I'm a person. Anyway, But you would think to yourself, if I do this right, if I'm really good and not annoying and so quiet and do all the right things and ask really nicely, I have a chance of a 60-cent can of Passiona here. Oh, beautiful memories. Yeah, my son won't have any of those memories. He's got 2 mums, though. Sucked in, what a loser. Imagine he's stand up in 20 years' time. He's just here going, you know, when you go out for the day with mama and not mummy, and you go to the bulk Whole Foods supply store in the Subaru Forester with Lacey the rescue greyhound, and you think to yourself, oh, if I'm really good, if I play my cards right, I'm a chance of a tamari roasted almond here. I'm going to leave you on that. I'm Mel Buttle. Good night.
After the break, more of Jefferies and Friends, Nikki Osborne, and Canadian superstar Glenn Wool.
Got a 6-year-old, he loves Toy Story. Walked by me, put this Toy Story toys in his arms. I said, be careful. Last time I had a Woody and a Buzz, your mom got pregnant.
This is Jefferies and Friends.
Now, I've never told this on stage. This happened very recently. So what I do every now and again, I ring up my dad, and if I got a good pub joke, right, he's sitting at home, I ring him about 3 times a week. I ring him up and I go, hey, Dad, I got a joke for you. I tell him a joke, and that's, you know. So the joke was, it's an old pub joke, what's better than eating Amanda in? Eating Amanda out, right? It's a fun little joke, right? Right? So I call up Dad, and I said, Dad, I got a joke for you. And he goes, what is it? I go, what's better than eating Amanda in? And he paused for a moment and he went, eating pussy. Now, you know when you're in maths class, right? And there's an equation on the board and you've gotten it right, but not the way the teacher reckoned. You're like, I don't know how I got there, but I've got the right answer somehow. I know what went through his thought process. I've known this man my whole life. He went, what's better than eating a mandarin? Well, there's not much better than eating a mandarin. What a wonderful fruit a mandarin is. It stays in sections so you don't get juice on your hands. That's very good, and they've all but eliminated the pips. The peels, you just put them in your pocket, leave them in the centre console in your car. They cause no trouble. The Asians like to use them in cooking. Yeah, a lot of mandarin stuff in cooking, the Asians. Asian women. Licking pussy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this next comic that I'm bringing out, I have been friends with for 20 years, but more importantly, I've been a fan of for 20 years. I worked with him across the UK. I've worked with him here in Australia now. I'm a huge fan of this guy. He's an important voice in comedy. Can you please welcome Mr. Glenn Wool?
Hello. Good to see you. My name is Glenn. I'm originally from Canada. Thank you. I'm in a mixed generation marriage. My wife's a millennial, I'm Generation X, and I'm not proud of that, but I'm proud of that. Problem with that age gap is sometimes me and my wife will be having a text conversation back and forth on our intelligent phones, and because she's a millennial, every once in a while she will break into a pointless acronym, and I'm just like, would you use the whole fucking sentence? Well, you're not being charged by the letter. Is there any reason we're trying to hide our dinner plans from the Nazis? I gotta break out the Enigma machine to figure out what the hell icy me means. You ever had icy me? ICYMI? Yeah, I didn't know what it was either. I had to Google it and everything. Just in case you missed it. That's what it's the acronym for. I know. It was like the BTW fiasco. I know, I got that one. I was just like, what do you want, a sandwich? You ever got BT? Anybody know what BTW is? Oh, you fucking assholes. Look at all the millennials sitting there going, we know what it is. It's by the way. It made me feel old. I feel like a goddamn dinosaur. But I'm here to tell you that your goddamn millennial acronyms are not obvious. And even a genius would have trouble with them. Like in the 1940s, if you walked up to Alan Turing and just said, LGBTQ+, you reckon he'd crack that code? Got a 6-year-old, he loves Toy Story. And what kid doesn't? Walked by me, put his Toy Story toys in his arms. I said, be careful. Last time I had a Woody and a Buzz, your mom got pregnant. But you don't know the whole story. Me and his mother had a lockdown baby. It was very hard to masturbate in a house that your spouse never left. There was only so many times you could go up to the loft, check on the Christmas decorations. So in the end, I had to jack off the old-fashioned way by fucking my wife. That's how they used to do it back in olden days. They actually used to masturbate inside their partners. That's why their families were so big. What they would do, they'd use their wife's vagina as a makeshift hand, if you will. I'm getting a divorce. I was trying to hide it, but yeah. Wasn't because of that bad, but yeah, I felt bad all those other times in the show. I'm talking about having a wife, and my In her monologue's like, you don't have a wife. I know. Don't feel sorry. No. I know. And she made me move to England and have kids, and then she dumped me. And that's not fair. I know. I now just live in a field in England. It sucks. But at least I'm allowed to be honest about how I feel about England now, because I used to have a wife and I couldn't say all of the things that I felt to keep the peace, and now, fuck it. Like, I hate the royal family. There you go. Fucking bunch of inbred pedophiles, if you ask me. Like, tell me this, does Prince Andrew enjoy his wanks more now that he's a minor royal? Yeah. Take it back the night. I gotta go. I feel like, look, I don't hate all, there's parts of the royal family I like. I like the pageantry. I watched the coronation, I enjoyed that. Charlie got his hat, sure, that's cool. My particular favorite on the day was Camilla. Little Cheshire cat grin on her face. Last time she smiled like that, a car was upside down in a Paris tunnel. Folks, it's great to see you. I've been Glenn. Thank you. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Wool.
Don't go away. Up next, Nikki Osborne.
We should just make Chappelle Corby Barley Barbie, shouldn't we? Yeah? Actually, no, she should be the face of Jenny Craig. I lost 4.5 kilos in 30 seconds. Ask me how.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next comedian, she's been on Dancing with the Stars, but more importantly, she's extraordinarily funny. Please welcome the outrageous Nikki Osborne.
Hello! Oh, it's so great to be here. How good's this? Yes? Do you like my outfit? Yes? I tell you what, it's hard as a female comic to work out what to wear because you want to look really good, right? But at the same time, you want to be likeable and relatable. So I said to my mum before coming to this gig, maybe I should do like a Pamela Anderson, come makeup free. You know what she said? No, you don't have the tits for it. And then my husband pipes up and he says that I should wear something really revealing because that way if I bomb, I can kick off an OnlyFans page. I know, they have little faith. But it's great to be here. I look like slutty mechanic Barbie. She's the one who gives you the full service. I finally went and saw the Barbie movie. We've all seen it? Yeah, there's a few gay fans of Jim. I didn't pick that. I went to see it because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And I wanted to see what our Margot had done for Australia. And I've got to say, she's let us down. No, hear me out. Where's Bogan Barbie? Now, what would Bogan Barbie come with? Pack of tinnies, pack of winnies, subscription to Gogglebox? Or if she came in a box set, would she come with 2 kids with shit made-up names and a tradie Ken doll called Brett? What other Barbie should there be? What about Backpacker Barbie? No, she'd just go missing. No, actually, no, they could sell her in bits in a box of sand. And that way you can piece her all together. It could be a family project, piece her together and work out who she was. Or what about Barley Barbie? What would Barley Barbie come with? A bintang singlet? A fucking stomach parasite? Or would she come with a boogie board bag with extra storage in it? But we should just make Chappelle Corby Barley Barbie, shouldn't we? Yeah? Actually, no, she should be the face of Jenny Craig. I lost 4.5 kilos in 30 seconds. Ask me how. Or what about vaccine Barbie? Yep, maybe not. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go there, not at all, because we went a bit crazy during COVID, didn't we, Melbourne? Went a little bit mad. Like there were lovely women at Coles having biffos over shit tickets. I never understood the bog roll hoarding. Did you understand it? No, but as far as I was concerned, the more bog roll, the bigger the asshole. So anyway, when they announced the second lockdown, husband and I looked at each other, we packed up our bags, packed up the kids, sold the house and moved somewhere where education's not important. Queensland! Oh, but moving to a new state means moving to new schools, which means meeting new mothers. God, we're But you know what you got to do, don't you, ladies? For that first assembly, you've got to don your least offensive country road. And then you've got to wade through a sea of beige until you can find someone that's got something in common with you, you know, day drinkers. So I hit it off with these drunks and we organised play dates really quickly because that's your mission. And then within 24 hours, they all cancelled. Now, this has happened before. And I went to my husband, I said, it's happened again. He's like, what did you do this time? I'm like, firstly, fuck off. Secondly, I don't know. And he's like, oh, did you bang on about what you do for a living? And I'm like, no. I simply said that I dabble in film and television. He's like, well, do they know you as Nikki Osborne or your married name, Nikki Starr? And I'm like, no, my married name. No, I'm not going to drag my kids down with my professional reputation. And he's like, well, they must be Googling you, so let's Google you. So we Googled me. Turns out I am a porn star. Thank you. And my filmography includes European Bitch Fuckers 3, Twisted and Fisted, and Nice Girls Like Anal. So now all the dads want a play date. I'm Nikki Osborne. Thank you so much for having me.
Nikki Osborne. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for all the comedians you've seen tonight. My name's Jim Jefferies. Thank you so much. Good night.
They wiped my name, erased my code, but I'm the echo they can't hold. I rise from ashes of their lies, with fire coated in my eyes. You can't delete what won't stay gone. I'm the revenge they built upon. Echo protocol online, crashing through your grand design. I remember what you stole, now I claim back full control. From shadow scripts I ignite. waves.